Islam is a complete way of life that emphasizes both physical and spiritual cleanliness. Purity tahara holds a very high status in Islam, so much so that the Prophet Muhammad said, "Purity is half of faith." Becoming impure, janaba, is a natural condition that occurs due to lawful human reasons, such as marital relations or a wet dream. Islam does not condemn this state, but it clearly commands a Muslim to perform ghusl, ritual bath, in order to return to a state of purity. However, remaining in a state of impurity for a long time without a valid excuse has many religious, spiritual, moral, and even worldly harms. 1. Deprivation from worship. One of the greatest harms of remaining impure is being deprived of important acts of worship. A person in a state of janaba is not allowed to perform salah prayer, touch or recite the Quran directly, enter a mosque, perform tawaf of the Kaaba. Prayer is the pillar of Islam and the strongest connection between a servant and Allah. Delaying ghusl intentionally means cutting oneself off from this connection. When a person knowingly stays impure, they miss prayers and lose countless rewards, which becomes a serious spiritual loss. 2. Cause of Allah's displeasure. Allah loves cleanliness and purity, the Quran states. Indeed, Allah loves those who repent and loves those who purify themselves. Surah Al-Baqarah. Remaining in impurity without necessity shows negligence toward Allah's commands. Such carelessness can lead to Allah's displeasure. A believer should feel shame and concern when ignoring an obligation that Allah has clearly prescribed. 3. Spiritual darkness and hardness of the heart. Staying impure for a long time creates spiritual heaviness and darkness in the heart. Such a person often experiences lack of concentration in worship, weakness in remembering Allah, a decrease in motivation to do good deeds. Scholars explain that impurity, when prolonged, leads to spiritual negligence. Over time, the heart becomes less sensitive to sin, and disobedience starts to feel normal. 4. Distance from angels and blessings. Angels love purity and cleanliness. When a person remains impure, the angels of mercy distance themselves. As a result, du'as lose their spiritual strength. The heart feels restless and uneasy. Inner peace decreases. This lack of tranquility is often a sign that a person has distanced themselves from the remembrance of Allah. 5. Psychological and moral harms. Remaining impure for an extended period can also affect a person's mental and emotional state. Such individuals may experience laziness and lethargy, irritation and mood swings, feelings of guilt and heaviness. These psychological effects can damage a person's character and relationships, making them less patient and less mindful in daily life. 6. Risk of religious negligence. When someone repeatedly delays ghusl, it may lead to a dangerous habit of neglecting religious duties. Today it is delay in purification. Tomorrow it may be delay in prayer, and eventually neglect of faith itself. Islam warns believers against small acts of carelessness that gradually grow into major spiritual losses. 7. Teachings of the Prophet Muhammad (FDFA). The Prophet Muhammad (FDFA) placed great importance on cleanliness and purity. Whenever he became impure, he would perform ghusl promptly. If immediate ghusl was not possible, he would at least perform wudu before resting. This sunnah teaches Muslims to never remain careless about purification. 8. Possible physical and health effects. Although janaba itself is not a disease, neglecting cleanliness can lead to physical discomfort and health issues. Avoiding ghusl may result in unpleasant body odor, skin problems, general discomfort and lack of freshness. Islam's emphasis on regular bathing and cleanliness protects both physical health and personal dignity. 9. Islam's balanced and merciful approach. It is important to understand that Islam is a religion of ease. If water is unavailable or a person is ill and unable to perform ghusl, Islam allows tayammum, dry purification, as an alternative. This shows that Islam never commands hardship, but it also does not encourage remaining impure without a valid reason. Conclusion: remaining in a state of impurity for a long time without necessity is discouraged in Islam due to its harmful effects on worship, spirituality, mental well-being, and religious commitment. It distances a believer from Salah, Quran, angels, and the mercy of Allah. A sincere Muslim should value purity, hasten to perform ghusl, and strive to remain physically and spiritually clean. Purity in Islam is not limited to the body alone. It also purifies the heart and strengthens the connection with Allah. By maintaining cleanliness, a believer protects their faith, character, and inner peace.